Hello everyone, welcome to Such Online Academy. This is Zeke Chimara. Today team, I'm going to take you through this video where I'll be talking about access modifiers in Java. So this is the video number 5, which means we've done 4 videos previous on object-oriented programming using Java. So this is just the continuation of this playlist. So if you didn't watch those previous videos, please check on this channel, they are there. Also, I want to thank you guys for one thing. We've actually crossed the 500 subscribers milestone. I thank you for that, and now we are eyeing for reaching the 1000 subscriber milestone. So if you are new to this channel, please click that subscribe button as well as turn the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you get a notification from this channel. Also guys, smash that subscribe button so that you can quickly reach to 1000 subscribers. For now guys, let's begin our video. So what are access modifiers? Access modifiers are keywords that can be used to control the visibility of fields, methods, and constructors in a class. So just take access modifiers is something which is going to give access to other parts of the code so that it can access some of the fields. So these are just keywords that we are going to use to give the access to the fields as well as methods and constructors in a class. So the 4 access modifiers in Java are public, protected, default, and private. So we have only public, protected, default, and private. And at the end of this video, I'm just going to demonstrate on how you can use these access modifiers. So Java has 2 types of modifiers, which is the access modifiers and non-access modifiers. But on this video, just focusing on the access modifiers. So these 4 types of access modifiers are going to take on one by one. So let's talk about a private access modifier. So the access level of a private modifier is only within the class. It cannot be accessed from outside the class. Remember, in Java you can have many classes on your program. So these classes, maybe they want to exchange this information. So we want to define which class can access this information. So how do you do that? You do that using the access modifiers. So if it is private, so the access level of a private modifier is only within the class, which means any other method or any other whatever which want to access that field, if it is private, it must be in that class. If it is a method, it must be in that class for it to access the private field. So let's talk about the default access. The access level of a default modifier is only within the package, which means if it is default, the access level is that it must be within the package. So it cannot be accessed from outside the package. If you do not specify any access level, it will be the default. So the default access modifier, you are not going to write default, but it's when you just say string A or string name, when you are not putting those access modifiers like private, so it is going to be automatically assign the default access level, and we are saying it is package only. Then let's talk about the protected. The access level of a protected modifier is within the package and outside the package through child class. So it's just within the package, but it can be also accessed outside the package, but it must be done through inheritance or a child class. If you do not make the child class, it cannot be accessed from outside the package. So we are referring to the package as just like a folder in our program. So there's also the public access modifier. The access level of a public modifier is everywhere. It can be accessed from within the class, outside the class, within the package, and outside the package. So if you mark your variable public, maybe your class public, it is available to any other class which you want to access that value. Take note of that. So this is just a table which shows the access modifiers within the class, within the package, with the subclass, as well as outside the package. So we'll be back here and just showing you how is it going to affect this access modifier, how are they going to affect the visibility of variables. So I'm just going to do an example, but on this table, maybe to give a short explanation here, we are saying if it is private, if you mark maybe your variable is private, if you are within the same class, we can access it. If it is default, we can access it within the same class. Protected, we can access it. Public, we can access it. But if it is within the same package, so we have two classes which are within the same package, and then there's a class with a private variable, which means the other class cannot access it. But if it is default, we can access. If it is default, we can access. If it is public, we can access. If you go to the subclass, like a child class cannot inherit or cannot access the private variable. It cannot also inherit the default or the variable declared with the default access modifier. It's just the same, but with the, if it is protected, we can access. If it is public, we can also access. Also, on the issue of outside the package, if you've got a class which is outside the package, and you've got the other one which is inside the package, those classes cannot actually inherit or cannot access a variable which is private or a method which is private, the default, the protected, but only the one which is actually public. So I'm just going to give an example. So let's just dive into my Eclipse. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to create a project here quickly, a Java project, and I'm just going to give it the name maybe Access, and then let me just finish this one. After doing this, I'm just going to, where are you? Okay, this is the project. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create some packages. So I'm just going to go into my source. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a package. Okay, so I'm just going to name it package 1, just like this. Then I'm just also going to create package 2. Let me just create another package, and I'm just going to name it package 2. This is just for demonstration. We're just going to have some classes within this package and some classes in another package, and then we see what's going to happen. So here I'm just going to create a class. This class, let me just name it, maybe I want a class named student. Okay, then this class must not have a main method. Then maybe I want another class here, maybe this class, I'm just going to name it test. I'm just going to use it to access everything what I wanted to run the code. So I'm going to give it the main function, and then maybe here let me just put another class which is going to handle maybe the assignments for our students. So I'm just going to say assignment, and also it is not going to have the main method. So what I've done here, guys, I've got two classes which are in the same package, and I've got this class which is in its own package. So I'm just going to create a variable inside assignment. So I'm just going to give it this string name, and I'm just going to give it the name of the assignment. Let me just call it assignment 1. So after doing this, I'm just also going to do the same on a student. I'm going to create a variable called name, but now it's the name of a student, so I'm just going to put my name, Ezekiel. Then after doing this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to access those variables. Remember, I've got the name of the assignment and the name of the student. So I'm just going to try and create the objects of these classes, and then I'll try to access them so that we can see how the access modifiers are going to affect that visibility. So here I'm just going to create the object of student class. So I'm just going to try to create the object of student class. So I'm just going to say student s1 is equal to new student. So if you look at this, I'm going to have an error. Why? Because this test class is within this package, and then the student is within this package. So for me to use this class which is in another package, which is in another folder, I have to import that class so that I can use it. So I'm supposed to write import package 1.student because it is in package 1. Then after that I would try to access, maybe let me just do a print out, so it's this out, sorry, I'm trying to run a sys out, then s1 dot name. So I'm having an error here. Why am I having an error? I'm trying to print the name of the student using the student object, but I'm having an error which says the field student.name is not visible. Why this is not visible? If I came here and if you take a look at this one, you see that this one have got the default access modifier. I've actually given it a default access modifier because I didn't even write private, public, even protected. So if something is if got a default access modifier, it means you cannot access it if the classes are in different packages. It will be hidden. You'll be not able to access this class. Test is on its own package, so we cannot access this one because it have got default access modifier. But let me try with the assignment. So if I create the assignment object, assignment A1, maybe it's got new assignment. So if you look at this one, we do not need to import the assignment class. Why? Because it is within the same folder, it is within the same package. So if I say a1 dot name, you see that now I'm able to access this. Let me try, let me just write it as I will be printing it. So let me just say a1 dot name. You see that this is visible. Why? Because it is within the same package. So if you look at this one, it's the same thing. Here is the default access modifier, and then here it is the default access modifier, but this one I cannot access it inside the test class. Why? Because it is in this package. But this one, it have got it is within the same package, and it have got a default access level, and I'm still able to access it. So if it is a default access level, you can only access it if the classes are within the same package. If it is outside the package, you cannot access it. So for now, I'll comment out this one so that it will not give us an error when I'll try to run. So you see that I got this assignment 1, which is coming from the assignment name here, which is coming from this assignment name. So that's it for the default access modifier. So let's now try private. Let's now try private. So if I come back here just to say a little on default access modifier, if you look at default, if it is within the same class, we were able to access. If it is within the same package, we can access it. But if it is outside the package, we see that we didn't manage to access it. Also, if it is outside the same package, we didn't manage to access it, just like that. Okay, so let's look at the private access modifier. On the private access modifier, a.name, we are trying to access this one using the assignment object. So when you are trying to use the assignment object, I mark this one private, yes. And then let me run this one. You see that I'm getting an error. Why? Because I'm trying to access this private variable. So the field assignment.name is not visible. Why? Because it is private. So they are in the same package, but once the field is declared as private, it is private to that class. You cannot access it outside the package or inside the package. You cannot access it. So it's just the same. If I try to mark this one private, if I mark this one private and try to access it here, I'll get the same error here. This name is not what is not visible. So it's just the same like what we are saying here. If it is private, we can only access it within that class. So what we are saying is that I can have maybe a string name here, string name, then be equal to maybe something like test. So if I make it private, I can only access it if I am this in this class. So if I just say name here, I'm just going to get this name. Okay, I'm supposed to make it static, or I have to call the object so that I can access this one. Okay, so if I run this one, I'm going to get this test. So what it means that the field, if it is private, we can only access it if you are within the same class, otherwise it's impossible to access it. Okay, so let me go on to the protected. On the protected, so if I make this one protected, let's see how is it going to behave. Protected, I made that one protected, and I will make this one again protected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call s1 dot name, and I'll try to get also a1 dot name. So I want you to notice this field is not visible, and this field again is not visible. Why all these fields are not visible? Because the variable is what is protected. So we are saying this one assignment is within the same package with the test, but we are not able to access the protected variable inside the assignment. So also here, this one is protected. This one is in another package, and we are not able to access it from this package. So why so? Because the variable is protected. So if you look at this, we can only access the protected if we are within the same class or within the same package, and through inheritance. So I don't know why I'm getting it's not visible. This one again is not visible. Yes, it's not visible. So we can only access it. Yeah, I'm sure this assignment, yeah, this one was supposed to be visible, the assignment, because we are within the same package. So it was just because I didn't save this one. We are within the same package. So protected, we can only access if you are within the same package, or through inheritance, or within the same class. But if the class is outside that package, we cannot access. Like in this case of this student, we cannot access the student name because it is within the other package, and then the test is within the other package, just like that. So let me just go to the public one. To the public, let me put public, and then I'll make this one again public. So let me save this, and let me save this. You see that we no longer have errors. So if it is public, we can access it through inheritance. We can access it even if the classes are within the same package, or are in different packages, just like that. So if I run this, I'm just going to get Ezekiel and then assignment 1, just like that. So if you look at that public, you can access it within the class, within the package, through inheritance, or outside the package. So guys, that's what I wanted to show you for today, so that you can understand the Java Access Modifier, so that when you're doing inheritance, polymorphism, all those OOP concepts, you'll be in a position to actually know which one is going to be inherited, which one is going to be here, and all those things. So guys, if you follow this video to this end, I want to thank you for that. Also, if you didn't subscribe to this channel, please click that subscribe channel, so that whenever I share a new video on this playlist or on other courses, you get a notification from this channel. So I want to thank you for that. Also guys, now we are doing shirts, these shirts which are branded Search Online Academy, so escapes. So guys, if you want one of them, just feel free to email me. There's an email this channel, where you can get in touch with me so that I can actually deliver it to you.